to become the masters of our own destiny. And one of the most important tools that is available to us to craft the future for ourselves is the makings of a constitution, the organic law of the land. So today is an important day. This day gives all of you, individually and collectively, an opportunity to do something phenomenal for your country. This is a historic process. And of course, this is not the first time we are doing this. We are here before. This will be the third constitution we are writing in under 2 generations. This is not quite normal. This trend has to be reversed. And it's only us, ourselves, who can do this. And we can do it. We need to come together as one nation, work together as one nation, and put together a constitution that will be fit for purpose. One that will stand the litmus test of time. Constitutions are not meant for a lifetime of a government. They are meant to serve generations upon generations. But apparently, the trend we are on now is like at the end of the term of every government, we will have to come together and formulate a new constitution. This is unacceptable in the 21st century. And I think the time now is right for us to do something for ourselves. Our country right now is at a threshold. We all know that our population, both at home and abroad, in terms of political consciousness and enthusiasm, is extremely high. Citizen engagement and responsiveness to the programs and activities of our government has never been this lively. So this massive political energy needs to be harnessed properly to help work with this commission to deliver a constitution that will serve us now and the posterity. The fact that the authorities have decided for the first time to include you, the diaspora, in this process is commendable. And for me, it's a layer of quality assurance for this process. Because we know the diaspora, you have the expertise, the exposure and the experience to come out with bold ideas and opinions that will help the commission to do its job properly, particularly the American diaspora. Most of you here have lived and directly or indirectly benefited immensely from the opportunities created by a stable constitution of the United States. So the Commission is eager to hear from you. We are familiar with the functioning of a modern constitution. This is important. This process has to ensure that we don't come back here in the near future to do the same. For us to succeed, in the past we know what happened. Most of the processes surrounding the constitutional review were characterized by personal and parochial considerations. When you do this exercise, you don't think about advantages or disadvantages of a group or an individual or a party. Those are short-term considerations. And short-termism, in terms of what we want to achieve, usually is a conundrum that we need to deal with. So look beyond the parties, because the individuals and the parties and groups, they are here today, they go and they come back, but the state is always there. So it is important to forget about political affiliations and look at what you think will best work for our country. I have no doubt that this commission here you are seeing around this table, the members here, they are ready and determined. They have what it takes to help deliver a 21st century constitution for us. A constitution that will take into account our values, our history and culture. And they can do it. These are men and women with the highest level of integrity. You see them here, most of them have been in the public service for quite a long time and established well-established track records for themselves and wealth of experience. So let's work with them and support them so that they can deliver a constitution that will work for ourselves and our children and grandchildren. With those few remarks, I would like to once again welcome all of you and thank you for being here. I know it's not easy, but your coming is a clear manifestation of your commitment to national cause. So let's stay engaged with our nation and ensure that we create and craft a Gambia that will be a model in terms of democracy and development for the rest of the world. With those three remarks, I wish to yield the floor to the chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Fadera, for sounding such a very powerful takeaway words. Of course, in crafting the Constitution, nobody should be thinking about immediate gratification, but what is important is the key thing is the supreme interest of the nation. We're not just going to go over your points, but because we don't have time, we're going to move directly to the next agenda. We're going to be having a member of the executive of the Gambian Association to give few remarks. Of course, kudos to the entire leadership of the Gambian Association, headed by Karim Diba. They have done a great logistical, they have actually made a great logistical accomplishment, which culminated into a convergence here. I know they work hand in hand with the ambassador. There was some tussle according to when they were actually deciding on the date, but eventually this is the date chosen for us. And of course, with time, we're going to see a lot of Gambians turning out. With those words, it is my pleasure to call on Mr. Lamin Jiba, the Vice President of the Gambian Association, to give a very short remark so that we can move to the next item on the agenda. Mr. Jiba, welcome. I will try to make this remark a very short one, considering the fact that we are seriously time constrained. But I must not say a word without using this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of the members of our high table one more time. The Justice, Chief Justice, Mr. Shemna Jallo, and the delegation from all the way from the Gambia. Also members of the Gambian Association Executive, His Excellency the Ambassador of the Gambia to the United States, Mr. Dauda D. Fadera, our Honorary Council-elect, Mr. Sanasanya, members of the Gambian community here present, my colleagues, the executive members under the leadership of Mr. Karim Diba, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you will all agree with me that it is indisputable that the constitution of any nation is supposed to make provisions for the protection of the rights and freedoms of the citizens. And then it is against this background that we are gathered here today to be all inclusive, to participate, and also be transparent, and also honestly contribute our opinion and add to what is going on in our constitutional reform process. Now, the Constitution places government powers in the hands of the citizens, and that way we are in control of what happens, and that way our country will not see a replication of the dictatorship that we have observed in 22 years. So there is that checks and balance that the Constitution assures its citizens, where no power overrides and abuses it to the detriment of the citizens. So today we would expect deliberations to be very frank and deliberations to be very open, to ensure, like as mentioned by previous speakers, we contribute immensely to this historic process to impact the lives of not only the current generation, but generations yet unborn. Now you will all also agree with me that during the 22 years of dictatorship, the Gambians have witnessed the tampering and the battering of the Constitution to enhance a self-perpetuating rule at the detriment of the Gambian people. Honorable Justice, Chief Justice, and members of your delegation, the Constitution, we all know, does not only simply provide a recipe for efficient government, a government that caters for the needs and aspirations of the people, but also deals with the limitation on powers. We all know since power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely, which happened in the case of our country, unfortunately, this is an opportunity that we all participate in a process that will impact our lives till for posterity. Distinguished guests, members of the Gambian community, this event is unprecedented in the history of our country. This is the first time, as far as I know, that a consultation of this magnitude is extended to the diaspora for us to be able to, participate. Not only our participation in the fight to put out dictatorship. The United States, in particular, I wouldn't say notorious, but have been known of being on the forefront to put out dictatorship in the Gambia. So again, for us to be included, to be part of this process, we are very excited and with extreme gratification that we will honestly participate during this process to give our honest opinion to impact the lives of the Gambians back home. For a little over 2 decades, our country has endured tremendous amount of political brutality, extrajudiciary killings, abuse of power, embezzlement of our limited natural resources, and all of these happened because of the bad governance that we had in place, and a tyrannic and a dictatorship that actually impacted negatively on the life of the Gambians. So we in the diaspora, especially here in the United States, are so excited and eager to be part of these discussions, to share our experiences and to share our exposure to the Western world. So the United States has been in the forefront to fight dictatorship because we want to replicate what we see in the United States back home. Life here is guaranteed, people's fundamental rights are guaranteed, freedom of speech in the United States is known by the world over. So those are things that actually ginger our desire to continue the fight to put out the dictatorship, and we did it together. So it is against this background, ladies and gentlemen, that we are very excited and we look forward to giving our honest opinion to effect these changes that we are about to observe.
But before I hand over the mic, like I said, there is not much time. We'll go into the deliberations. I want to acknowledge the role played by the executive members. Since we started receiving guests, they've been driving all over the place, taking our guests out to run their errands, at their own expense. So I want to really acknowledge and appreciate that effort. And we look forward to people in opportunities like this come out and serve in the best interest of our motherland. Having said that, I won't stay long. We have limited time. I want to welcome you formally to Minneapolis, the Twin Cities. And I also want to thank the members of the community for coming out in their numbers. Like alluded before by the Honorable Ambassador, we would have loved to fill this hall, but we all know the nature of life in this country. Most of our colleagues are out there busy working. And as we progress, we will see people joining us, and then we'll hope that we'll make this event a very successful one. On that note, I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President of the Gambian Association in Minnesota. Yeah, for those coming, please, we have a registration book on the table. If you wouldn't mind going there and register, please, as you just on the table right there. Pretty soon we're gonna move to the cross of the matter here, and the next speaker is gonna be the chairman of the Constitutional Review Commission, who is no other person than Justice Charles Jallow. A very quick bio here says Justice Jallow was born in 9 November 1962. He's a Gambian lawyer and a judge who serves as a Justice of the Supreme Court of the Gambia. Previously, Mr. Justice Jallow served as an Attorney General in the in the Caribbean. So no wonder we have men and women of integrity here. These are the people charged with the responsibility of leading us in drafting the new Constitution of the Gambia. We don't have any doubt over their integrity and patriotism. And we're going to have an opening statement by the chairperson of the CRC, Justice Jallow. He's going to deliberate on the talking points, and from there, this is how the event is going to unfold. They have several thematic areas to deliberate on, so we're going to go point by point. So, me as the moderator, what we're going to do, they will introduce in sequence. Say point number 1, cover citizenship. I will take randomly 5 people who are able to raise their hands, and those are the people who are going to express their opinion. They will move to the second item on the agenda so that we can cover the whole ground. So that is going to be the, so we'll do that. So Justice Jallow will give an introductory remark. Afterwards, we'll get into the sequence of how we're going to tackle those thematic areas. So welcome to the podium, Justice Jallow.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, and good afternoon, everyone. With your kind of weather, I'm not sure whether it's afternoon or evening, but I'm sure you understand precisely what it is. And let me really adopt the protocol that has already been observed in the interest of time, but specifically to mention the fact that we in the CRC do appreciate the time you all have taken off from your various activities to be here with us today. As our Ambassador has rightly said, this is a national event, and it is one we all have a stake in. And in that context, we all should welcome this process and participate as best as we can. And Mr. Moderator, thank you very much for making the point and correcting the fact that I'm not the Chief Justice. Let the Chief Justice back home thinks I'm stating a coup against him. I am merely a Justice of the Supreme Court. But Lamin Jiba, Vice President, thanks for the promotion. And you never know. You never know. Thank you very much. And I thank you all once again for coming here. All that I would have said has collectively been said by our Ambassador, by our moderator, and by Mr. Lamin Jiba, the Vice President of the Gambian Association here. So I will try not to go over those, but merely to, first of all, recognize how well organized you are as a Gambian community. I mean, we have seen that when we arrived here yesterday, and indeed your Vice President, I would say our Vice President, the Gambian Association, was absolutely right in terms of how well they've not only been taking care of, but there's so many errands they've had to be running. I was prepared to go for lunch today when they told me lunch had come. I didn't want a lunch. But again, you know, through the generosity of the Gambian community here, and the Consul, the Honorable Consul General Sanya, delighted me with a good lunch. And I'm not sure whether you cooked it or your mother cooked it, or whoever cooked it. Just extend our thanks and gratitude. It was really nice, a nice meal. This process, like I said before, is a national exercise. It is one that touches the lives of every Gambian. And it is one that will touch the life of every Gambian future generations to come. We here as a community do have a responsibility to ourselves and to those future generations. So this exercise we will conduct it is to make it as objective and balanced as possible. In so doing, different people will hold and express different opinions. Those opinions may not necessarily coincide on the same level, and that is fine, because it is that diversity of opinion that is really going to help us as the CRC in trying to determine how well we can design and develop a new constitution for our country. So let's respect each other's opinion, even if we disagree with those. Whatever opinion you express, if you need to, if you have any reason to back that up, we will encourage you to do that, because those reasons also help us. Since we commenced this process back home in November last year, we've had so many wonderful opinions from our compatriots, both at home and abroad actually. And in their views, we as 11 commissioners would not necessarily have considered. So which is why consultation is important. And we want consultation for specific reasons. We think it is important to consult in order to ensure ample inclusiveness. The Constitution is the supreme law of any land. And therefore it is important that the people are included in designing and developing that Constitution. That is one. The second one is to ensure that the people are given the opportunity to participate in the designing and the development of the Constitution, which is why we are here today. The third element is to ensure that we are transparent in our process. We are apolitical. We do not, represent any political inkling whatsoever or any political philosophy. We are here as one people, as one country, trying to design a constitution that works for all. Even if your personal opinion doesn't make it into the constitution ultimately, we want you to be in a position, we want all of us, indeed, to be in a position where we can say proudly that we participated in this process, and this new constitution is really our own. And that's the fourth element we emphasize on, that is taking ownership of the new constitution. If we participate in this process in a very transparent and inclusive manner, and ultimately develop a new constitution, which hopefully will lead to formal adoption at the referendum, then we all can take ownership of that constitution and be the guardians of the constitution, be the ones to protect that constitution. I need not reflect on the history of how our previous or the existing constitution has undergone numerous changes. We hope we can avoid that. We really hope we can avoid that. And this process is part of the plan, really, to enable us to achieve that, so that we have a constitution that lives for generations to come. It is important also that whilst we engage in this process, we will be introducing our topics. We have 14 topics, beginning from citizenship right to matters relating to public finance and other miscellaneous matters. Each one of them is important. But we are not constraining you to those matters. If we introduce a topic and we ask questions and we feel that something hasn't been raised in relation to that topic, please feel free to raise it. It may be an idea you have that we haven't thought about, and therefore we should exchange opinion on those matters. We will be introducing these topics, of course, in English, but we will encourage whoever feels more confident or who feels that they can better express themselves otherwise to speak in any local language of your choice. That is something we encourage Gambians across the board to do if they feel so important. Let us look at the issues and discuss the issues that unite us as a people, not the things that really divide us. And in so doing, we should not only refrain from partisan politics issues, but we should also refrain from name calling. The problem with name calling, even when we use examples, is that we evoke a reaction. And that leads to unnecessary debates and wastes a lot of time. So if you can maintain those ground rules, that will certainly be very helpful. But before I conclude, maybe I should introduce the other commissioners so you know who will be speaking from time to time and who we are interfacing with. At my extreme right is our youngest commissioner who represents the youth constituency of our country. That's Commissioner Yankuba Manjam. I have a big problem in the commission. I have a Kianka and I have Baribukas. And they just can't stop. But in any case, I think I've been able to manage them. They've been a challenge. Quite an interesting thing. Next to Yankuba is a veteran journalist, human rights, women's advocate, and youth code. Human rights activist, very passionate on human rights, and we have a joke for you in the commission, but in a week I would reveal. But that's Commissioner Gay Soul. He also heads the Institute of Human Rights in Africa.
Institute for Human Rights and Development.
Okay, he said it himself. I told him that the acronym is kind of funny, I can never remember all of it. Next to Commissioner Saul is Commissioner Dr. Melville George. Dr. Joy had been a career civil servant, private practitioner in dentistry, and he's retired but not fully retired. He's still very active. And he was a former director of health services in our country and has worked in the UN as well. A man of great wealth, a man of immense experience, and we are pleased to have him with us. At the very extreme left is Commissioner Salimata Toure. Salimata Toure incidentally represents the diaspora along with Amidjuf Kool. But she's now the permanent secretary, been permanent secretary a couple of months ago. But still represents the diaspora, and she's been extremely helpful in terms of our CRC process. A career civil servant as well, more so in the foreign service. And this makes up our team that is here today. We have another team which has been dealing with the European diaspora. And those are not here. Actually, they completed their assignment earlier this week. But we are the ones here, but treat us all as 11, because it's 11 of us that are engaged in this process. The last point I wish to make is that the enactment that establishes the Constitutional Review Commission, which is the Constitutional Review Commission of 2017, emphasizes a lot of things. But one of the things which I would like to pick out is the guiding principle which urges the CRC to take into account in the conduct of its work the importance of national cohesion, unity, and peace. That is important. That is the foundation of any development of any country. If there is no peace, the rest really will just be names. So we need that, which is why in engaging in this exercise, I said earlier, let's look and focus on issues that unite us as a people. I think that is important. The fact of the matter is the Gambia belongs to all of us. So we have to develop it together. If we feel ourselves and we feel future generations of Gambians. And I'm sure that will not happen. With those few words, perhaps we can go straight into the discussions now, beginning with citizenship. And our Commissioner Gayso will lead that discussion, as well as the discussion on fundamental rights and freedoms, and also the discussion on the executive. Madam Commissioner Amidou Kool will lead the discussions on elections. And Commissioner Yankuba Diba will he will lead the discussions on the other miscellaneous matters related to Land Commission, National Youth Council, Youth Service from Parliament, yes, and also the legislature. Dr. Melvin George will cover the judiciary, and the Commissioner Salmata Toure will cover public finance, public enterprise, including the Office of Auditor General and Governor of the Central Bank. I told them I'm taking the backstage today. I'm trying to recover from a flu, and I don't want to overwork my body. And I hope you all will understand and appreciate that. You play the devil's advocate, so from time to time you may say something like I play the devil's advocate, and my colleagues also may jump in and ask certain questions. It's just not to contradict you, but to seek clarification so you can consider the other viewpoint and we want your opinion on these matters. So let's keep this as a very informal dialogue. Let's be very brief and concise in our responses so that we can complete the 14 topics within the time allocated to us. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much, Justice Nangano. This is how we're going to actually cruise into the first topic, which is going to talk about citizenship. After the introduction is done by lawyer Gayso, we're going to actually take 5 people. And if we are intervening, I mean, we are time conscious here. You're going to please stay on the topic and then make your point in 2 minutes. Then the next topic, when we get to that, we'll take five people. We want to cover, if need be, we'll come back to, because we have a lot of ground to cover. So, Lawyer Gayso will do the introduction, then the 5 people to raise their hands, I'll take your names, and then we go in a sequence. So.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator, and thank you very much, Honorable Chair. I want to join our chair in really thanking all of you. We have so far felt very much welcome from the minute we got out of the airport to now. So we thank you for your kindness. Thank you very much. I would want to take us through the topic on citizenship. What I would do, I would give us a sense of, or I would explain the current law on citizenship. And after that, we would at least expect you to give us suggestions as to what you think we should change, what you think we should delete totally, or what you think we should introduce. So like I said, I would be referring to current provisions, the provisions of our current constitution, and after that we would really appreciate hearing from you. So under our law, that is, as I speak, there are 4 kinds of citizenship provided for. The first is what is called citizenship by birth. And under the law, anybody born in the Gambia to a Gambian parent is a Gambian citizen. So which means if your father or your mother are Gambian, you are Gambian if you're born in the Gambia. If your father or your mother, either, so you would see the law is gender neutral. So if you're born in the Gambia, your father is Gambian, that makes you Gambian. If you're born in the Gambia, your mother is Gambian, that makes you Gambian. Citizenship by birth. That's the first. The second is what we call citizenship by descent. And I know for us here, this would be of utmost importance. Under citizenship by descent, we're talking about persons born abroad to a Gambian parent. So it doesn't mean you have to be born abroad to 2 Gambian parents. If you're born outside the Gambia, and one of your parents happens to be Gambian, that also makes you Gambian, citizenship by descent. And here too, the law is gender neutral. It really wouldn't matter if you're born in the US, whether it is your father or your mother who is Gambian. If either of them is Gambian, then you are a Gambian citizen. That's the second one. The third is called citizenship by registration. That applies to persons living in the Gambia who get married to a Gambian and they continue to live in the Gambia for a period of 7 years. Here too, I should point out, the law is gender neutral, meaning if a Senegalese man is married to a Gambian woman and he continues to live in the Gambia for a period of 7 years, after the 7 years he can apply for Gambian citizenship through registration. Again too, if a Senegalese woman lives in the Gambia, gets married to a Gambian, continues to live in the Gambia for a period of 7 years, she can also apply for Gambian citizenship. That's the third. The fourth and the final one is what we call citizenship by naturalization, and that will be available to persons who continue to live in the Gambia for a period of 15 years. If you live in the Gambia for a period of 15 years, after satisfying the conditions laid out in the Constitution, those of course with being of good behavior, law abiding, etc., etc. After 15 years, you can apply to naturalize as Gambian. So we would appreciate your thoughts on what I have just explained is good enough. That is, we should change it. I mean, or we should, for example, find a way of reducing the 7 years, or maybe find a way of adding to it. So please, your thoughts on what I have just described is good enough, or we need to change it. But there are some things, two things I also wanted to point out before I give you the floor. Under our current law, when you come from abroad, you register as a Gambian citizen. Of course, we noted registration will apply to those married to Gambians, or you naturalize as a Gambian. Under the current law, you must fulfill your foreign nationality. So when we say dual citizenship, it only applies to persons who are Gambian by birth or descent. If you register as a Senegalese, you must, you lose your Senegalese nationality. If you naturalize as American, you also have to lose your American nationality. That is the current law. What do you think? Do you think we should leave it as such, or we should change it? One other thing I should also point out, it's really clear to all of us that we have thousands of people born in the Gambia. Maybe some lived all their lives in the Gambia, born in the Gambia to non-Gambian parents. Your father is in the Gambia, your mother is in the Gambia. You happen to be born in the Gambia, and then it doesn't matter whether you've lived in the Gambia, for 50 years, that wouldn't matter. Because citizenship isn't automatic, as in just because you're born in the Gambia doesn't make you Gambian. So what I'm saying, we would really appreciate your thoughts as to what you think we should do with that category. They're born in the Gambia, their parents happen to be non-Gambian, probably their parents could have naturalized, but they don't know they should have. Or they should have naturalized, but they decided not to. But they're born in the Gambia, grew up in the Gambia, probably might have gone to school in the Gambia. Under the law, under the current constitution, they are not recognized as Gambian. So in your view, what do you think we should do with them? Do we, for example, I don't really have any opinion on this. We're here to listen to you. I'm just giving an example. Do you, for example, like the Americans would say, do you think we should create a path for them to be citizens? If you think we should create a path, we really would appreciate your thoughts as to what that path should be, what it should look like. So in a sense, these are our laws on citizenship, a very, very important topic. And you all know we must have this captured in the constitution we're about to draft. So I will maybe shut up for now, and then listen to you as in your views as to what you think we should add, we should delete, or we should take out, or include in the upcoming constitution. Thank you all very much for your attention.
Well, I got my 5 people here, and unfortunately 5 people, we got so many hands that were raised, but I was able to capture 5 people. So I'm going to call them in that sequence, and when I call you, want to come to the podium. The first person is Lamin Jiba. We want to hear your thoughts on citizenship. You want to come over here, and then you have 2 minutes to have your opinions, So, they want to capture you on camera. That's why. I know. Yes. So,
now, on citizenship, my question or my contribution will be twofold.
Lamin Jiba.
Oh, my name is Lamin Jiba. I will introduce myself. I'm from a Fonyi village called Banjaga, but I was raised in New Jersey. So. But anyway, coming back to the discussion, my contribution will be twofold. One is dual citizenship, my thoughts on that, and the other one, citizenship by birth for people that were born of non-Gambians that are resident in the Gambia. So going back to dual citizenship, in my opinion, I think folks that live in the United States, for example, could be Europe, and they naturalize and become Americans. I think the Gambia will harness a lot of expertise if we have those people to still maintain their Gambian citizenship. And that way we are able to have diaspora experts, not denied opportunities to contribute in the civil service if they wanted to. Because I think the constitution currently has that you have to live in the Gambia for a certain period if you can run for certain political positions. I'm not sure the number of years. So I want to suggest that
we will get there. For now,
citizenship. Yeah, so my opinion is we have those people to be citizens of the Gambia at the same time. Gambian and American at the same time.
That's okay. That's allowed under the law.
Okay. So secondly, the parents of a child that is non-Gambian, I think, in my honest opinion, those people should be given Gambian citizenship by birth because they are born in the Gambia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next person would be Council Ture. Please state your name and the area in Gambia where you were born. Again, this goes to their website, please, for convenience sake.
Thank you. My name is Council Ture. I was born in Sadekene, in central, and I don't know the names of the region, but central Madina, we used to call it. It's in this Karawan administrative area. Yeah, so I'm out of touch in terms of certain things in the Gambia. Even though I've been there twice the past 3 years, I was there when everything passed. I just want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to come and share my views about this. About the citizenship thing, I think anybody born in the Gambia should have an automatic citizenship title, regardless of whether because we say citizen by birth. There seems to be a contradiction in terms there. If you say citizenship by birth, now you try to say one of the parents has to be. What about the person who doesn't have parents who are born in the Gambia? So citizenship by birth, I think, should be all-inclusive. Anybody born in the Gambia should have an automatic right to the Gambia as a Gambian citizen. Regarding the point here, like persons found within the Gambia whose parents are unknown, should they be presumed to be citizens of the Gambia? I said no. First of all, I will set precedent to a climate which is going to be perforated with crime, potential criminals. Whether they are money launderers, they are crime, people who commit crimes in other countries and come to the Gambia as a bastion of sanctuary for crime, I don't think we should have that as a provision to allow people who are found in the Gambia and their parents are unknown. Anybody can have a citizenship in the Gambia of another country, come and throw their documents and they declare I'm bona fide citizen of the Gambia, but I don't know my parents, or my parents are not known. In the Gambia, it's a very close society. So everybody is related to almost everybody else. So therefore, people who are found in the Gambia and they are not what they consider as parents are not known, they should not be Gambian. They should prove that they are born in the Gambia before they can be accorded citizens of the Gambia. Otherwise, we're going to generates, a group of people who are potential criminals. Crime, syndication would be perpetuated in the Gambia, and also drug syndication. So we don't have allowed that. As far as dual citizenship is concerned, I think it's a good idea. And as far as people who are actually born in the Gambia, not born in the Gambia, people who actually have resided in the Gambia and can change their citizenship after 7 years or 15 years, I think anybody who has a Gambian child, it depends on what the Constitution would give that child the age limit at which he can or she can, declare his, file for that father or a mother who is a Gambian to become a citizen in the Gambia, depending on which comes first, whether the residency time or the age limit set on the child to be able to file for that parent comes first. So I think we should be very careful in that. Children who are born to non-Gambian parents should be able to file for their parents to become citizens, depending on if the father has been resident for 15 years comes first as a constitutional provision, or the age limit of the child comes first to be able to file for that parent. Because of time constraint, I would want to limit my observation on those points for now, and hopefully we will deliberate on other points as well, inshallah.
In relation to a child found in the Gambia, the parents of the child haven't known. I understand what you said, but let me just set an example. Let's say a 5-year-old is found in the Gambia with no known parents. How do you think we should treat that child? This is a child who can't fight for anything. So how do we deal with that?
Well, first of all, we have to establish, unfortunately, we don't have that bank system, that biological blood bank system, where we can establish potential paternity to the child. Let's say, if we set that as a precedent, somebody can just cross the border and drop their child, so that the child will become a Gambian, if they are fed up with them in Senegal or in other countries, for example. That child should be brought to the welfare system, and that child should be adopted. And people who are adopted, adoption is a very critical issue. In the Gambia, I think adoption should be based on the culture. In the Gambia, we don't adopt people and change their name. But if a child is found who is not known, then that child will be adopted by people, and then they could take their family name. But if somebody else goes to his family to adopt their child, that child should maintain their father's name. But in a case like this, they should be taken care of by the government in a welfare kind of situation, and they should be adopted. They should be adopted. They should be adopted. Unless the government takes care of them, but I don't think that's a good idea. People should take care of people, not government, because government change, and the new government that comes can change policies, and those children will be left without parents as well. So I think those children we should be able to adopt them through the law, the process of the law, and also we should be very careful not to try to first of all establish their identity. If we can do that, then they should be, they could be adopted, people should be able to adopt them and then become part of the system. That's my opinion about that.
We can't find, and we cannot put the burden on the citizen to say you have to adopt the child before the child becomes a citizen of the Gambia. I think the bottom line is, if we cannot establish parenthood, I think that child should become a ward of the state, which means therefore the Gambia as a government will have to adopt that child and grant citizenship. Every right that is granted to citizens of the Gambia should be accorded that child as well. But we cannot get into the slippery slope of trying to define who the parents are, where they came from, what they might have committed in their backgrounds. Those, I think, is going to be very wrong for our society.
Can I buttress my point there? Okay, let's say we do that and somebody else after 5-10 years comes back and say, oh, that's my child. Somebody stole the child from me, because that person is trying to use the provision of the Constitution to say children at a certain age can provide, they can, register their parents to become citizens. So we have to be very careful there. We have to set standards that would actually some kind of, at least impede, if not stop, but impede the potential of somebody appearing in 10 years or 20 years in the line to say, yeah, that child was missing 20 years ago from our village in Senegal. Now he appeared in the Gambia. So we have to go and say, hey, we have to provide paternity or maternity to the child. If they do that, they become, it's proven that they are the parent of that child. What happens next? So we have to be very careful there. If we say they can be citizens, then we have to set standards that actually would impede somebody appearing in 20 years along the line to say, I am the father of the child. He went missing, yes, so and so. So we have to be careful there. But otherwise, we can set standard for them. Social a welfare service will take care of them, and then, take it from there.
We got 13 topics.
Somebody was driving, going to Gambia. He saw the good child begging in the street. And he said, Nagatula. He said, what about Keda County? The man grabbed the child and took him out. So I think we should be better careful. That's what we have. Because if you find a child who is less than, I think the Congress will take care of that child. The child is citizenship. I think it's too much. But I will elaborate on your final satisfaction.
Okay, last person to speak on that topic would be retired Lieutenant Pamoruan. Come to the podium. Lieutenant Pamoruan was the Deputy Commander of the Gambia World Federal Barracks for information.
Lieutenant is not. It's Pamoruan. I'm from Pakuna. I just want to remind us about the spirit and our cultural heritage with which we have to see and feel this. That is, we are Gambians. And also we've been divided far too long by external factors and forces. We are Africans. I'll not elaborate on the significance of that, but I think whatever we decide, we must be cognizant of that vital issue and factor. We've been divided by outsiders. We can't continue to divide ourselves. It is through unity, but obviously with the law guiding us, that we will prevail as Gambians, as West Africans, and as Africans. Thank you.
Yeah. For your record, he is retired Major Pamoruan, not Lieutenant. The third person to speak on citizenship is Famara Sise. Your name and your place of birth in the Gambia.
I would like to speak my name. I'm Famara Sise. Dino mi alo ko ulu pera so la menya no ko dino no tamira ni ma si Gambia ni karangi for the high school for certain age e mondira family ka ko idin ma ko manya na le claim ke bare ba ni sina Gambia karangi ko high school or secondary school yo banje do 50 days automatically ngara se so ba ni dena ma boda Gambia. More than after 5 years or so, go back apply. Mamma and citizenship law now. But Mr. Gambia can't be come on the Gambia culture law, the Gambian law, in about God, national and citizenship law.
Family meeting can these are Sutian people. Yeah, I think of the high school, there will be not problem with that, but not on a summary indicate. We are 15 years before. And don't continue 18 years, which is the age of majority.
I think that's okay.
Then many women can well admit nothing in doing you again, not this hospital or something. It's a grant or permanent residence automatically. Then now to Sunday turning sale, then as I indicate, can declare after the citizenship or not. At that point, states will be
after all the time, I'm saying Gambia, Finti, Kohana Kadakana, but I cannot get me say, Naninka, I understand. But near the Mama when the Gambia, more at any age, man, and qualify. So,
model call of time. So people want to add something. Can we do that though? Lamin, come over here, Lamin. So guys. Your name is
My name is Ibrahim Ajani from I want to say something like let me say Gambia, but I Gambia. Now, citizenship until I 18 as a result, further continue the Gambia or our but for now, doesn't for Gambia because the permanent residency then when you take a banku binti, Kabo Wago, within 18 years. Then after the majority, then he can decide which country's citizenship he wants to take. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we're going to move to the fourth person, and then that person is not a person, then Momodu Sise, please. Name and place.
Momodu Sise from Yao, Masal. Actually, what I was going to say, they've already mentioned it all, but what I want to add to this is, if a parent of a child who is born in Gambia, both parents, maybe one of them, it's born in Gambia, and the parents decided not to be citizens for whatever reason. I don't know why, and the kind of, if you live in Gambia, I think for 15 years, you can file for citizenship, I guess. So if they have a child and they're already there in Gambia for 15 years, they should be citizens. I think to give them or that child an incentive for them to register that child as a citizen, they should also be citizens. If they are less than 15 years, it's fine. But once they turns 15 and above, they live in our country. Why should they not be citizens if we give them that right to become citizens? So I think to really incentivize them to become citizens, or their children to become citizens, they should be citizens. Otherwise, their children cannot be citizens. That's what I think should be fair. Because people live in people's countries for decades. For some reason or the other, they don't want to become citizens. Maybe if they become citizens, they'll lose their citizenship to their birth country or whatever. But after 15 years, if you're not a citizen, your child should not be a citizen.
Yeah. Thank you very much. We're going to have our last speaker on this topic, and we're going to move to the next session. And that person is Usman Ba, please. You want to come to the podium? So you gave up. Okay, so we're going to move to the next session, and I'm going to throw the microphone back to the commission members.
Thank you. Thank you all for your contributions. Now we're moving on to the second topic on fundamental rights. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to rights, but we really want to concentrate on a few things, maybe things that I wouldn't say controversial, but things we really would appreciate your opinions on. The first on rights is the issue of the death penalty. Under our current law, if you child convicted of treason, the death penalty would be invoked against you. Same would apply to murder. There are also some offenses in the Gambian Armed Forces Act that are punishable with death. So the question we're asking is whether under the new constitution you still want us to retain the death penalty or you want us to abolish it. If you say we should abolish it, you want us to have it replaced with what? So death penalty. Do we continue to have it in our law books or we should do away with it? We would appreciate your opinions on that. The other is on rights that that lawyers will call economic, social, and cultural rights. If you look at the Constitution of the Gambia, rights provided for are mostly civil, political, freedom of expression, religion, right to life, freedom of assembly, association. If you look at the right to health, it is not classified as a right in our Constitution. It is under it's under what is called the directive principles of state policy. Again, if you look at education, what is made a right, as far as education is concerned, is basic education, as in up to, those of us who are a bit older, we will call it primary education. Now it's called basic education. You have basic, secondary, and of course tertiary. Basic education is meant to be free, but secondary education isn't free. Tertiary education too isn't free. And of course the Constitution goes on to say that has to be done on an incremental basis. So again, to just make things clear, when we talk about the prohibition of torture, when we talk about freedom of association, those are rights. If violated, we can go to court to seek redress. But healthcare isn't a right. Education a right when it applies to basic education. Decent housing too is not classified as a right under our current dispensation. Again, clean environment too not classified as a right under our current dispensation. So what we're asking, do you think under the new constitution, in addition to civil political, as in prohibition of torture, expression, etc., etc., we should also have the right to health, or I don't know, whichever way we're going toward it, access to health care? I mean, those of us who follow US politics, you have some Democrats saying health care is a fundamental right. What do you think? Do you think we should have that also included in the Gambia's constitution? How about education? When we say education from basic to tertiary level should be free and compulsory, instead of it being a directive principle of state policy, then we make it a fundamental right. What about environment, right to a clean environment? Do we also make that a fundamental right? Fundamental right in the sense, if violated by government, you can go to court to seek redress. What about decent housing? Do we also make that a right? Right in the sense, if violated, you can go to court to seek redress against the government. So we're asking you to tell us, in addition to the rights we will be covering, do we need to include healthcare, education, decent housing, and very importantly, to clean environment. And I would also, just a note of caution, because even if you look at the UN level, for a lot of these rights, they say this is subject to a principle they call progressive realization, as in the state doing it at an incremental pace, as in see what you can afford, and then as time goes on, you begin to do it gradually. Do you think we should go that way, or we should make it a right now, enforceable by anyone who feels aggrieved? So we definitely would appreciate your thoughts. I know when we raise this issue, a lot of people made interventions with respect to the right to health, but please, your thoughts on the death penalty too, we would appreciate. Thank you very much for your attention.
Perhaps. Come to the podium, please.
All right. Before I proceed, I just want to say one thing here. I know the Honorable Ambassador spoke and the Justice, our Justice amongst ourselves, talk about how organized we are in Minnesota. I just want to acknowledge a few people in the room, and maybe one person here that I see. Mr. Lantiba, the organization that you see in Minnesota actually started with a man like him who laid the foundation for all the Gambians in Minnesota. And I am very This is a man that's done a lot to free Gambians from jail because of immigration matters. And we've done a lot. I know I have hit on these doors many times at 1 o'clock at night, and we made it happen. So it's fair that. What's that? Well, he's a good man. He's a good man. We are honored to have him. Okay, so with respect to the question on the floor, I just want to say, personally, my own opinion, with respect to the death penalty, I definitely think, as a country, I think some of these laws are meant for deterrence. And we as a society, we don't want to encourage violence against our fellow citizens. I think if you deliberately harm another human being or take another human being's life, you definitely are staking your own, and therefore it should be taken as well by the state. That's my view on that. With respect to healthcare, for instance, I think healthcare, in my personal view, I think it should be a national right. Healthcare should not be a luxury for any citizen of our country. I think these are basic human rights that we owe to one another as citizens of a nation. And therefore, as a country, these are things that we should provide to every Gambian. One should not be wondering whether or not my life comes to an end only because you can't afford a hospital bill. I don't think that's acceptable in any decent human society, particularly amongst us as a country. The other point I want to mention is with respect to education, for instance. I think the emergence, if you will, of our economic, our socio-political development brought with it a lot of dictates to society. What I mean by that, with the university in the Gambia today, I think it is important that we make basic through tertiary education at least a right, a national right. And the reason I say this is because with time, as we continue to grow and develop as a nation, I think it's going to be imperative that we provide a basic education, which is not at the basic level, but we think we need that secondary education to be able to function as a citizen of the Gambia. And I think those rights should be a national right. The caveat I have here is that it should not be enforced, in other words, should not be a force upon every parent to put your child through school. Because there are those of us who are entrepreneurs, and therefore education is not a primary for them. They would rather have their child follow their footsteps and learn the ropes in the business world. These people are also very significant members of society, and I think we should encourage that. And I think society should not be penalized just because you choose not to send your kid to school. But for those that decide to do so, I think it should be a national right. That's my view of that. Now, the other piece with respect to education that I wanted to mention, I think, and maybe this is something that might come down the road, I think there should also be some reforms in our educational system in the Gambia. What I mean by that is, if you look at our society today, there's so much emergence of so-called tertiary, or if you will, basic education or institutions in the Gambia. And this, what it is doing really, is watering down the quality of education that we know as a country. So we should not just have, and I have some really, if you will, practical examples of this. I remember when I was in St. Augustine's High School way back. The fact is, we had a Nigerian, and I'm not picking on any one country here, who came and said he's a doctor and he's teaching accounting. The man cannot even balance a balance sheet, but he's a doctor. So I think as a government, you owe this to the citizenry to make sure not every Tom, Dick and Harry can emerge in the country and say, I'm going to open an institution of learning. I think those things should be monitored, and there should be some, if you will, regulations in place to protect the quality of our education, because these directly, if you will, impact our socio-economic development as a country. I think those things should be paid attention to.
Thank you, George Bass. I only hope you're not holding out your manifesto to us here, so because forming a political party. So the next speaker is okay.
Sorry about that. Mr. Bass, I just have a question with regard to the level of education. You're saying that we should bear in mind those families who might want to take the entrepreneur route. But then in this instance, what is the basic minimum education you would want this child or this type of student to have? Do you think it should be like in the West where education is enforced until 16 years? Or do you think, what do you think?
I don't think this is I don't think that is something that as a country, as an administration or as a government, I don't think that is something that we should dictate on society. I think, for instance, for my Sahule friends here who are in the room, we know, and some of the Wadibungas, by the way, if I pick on you, Nakiba, no point intended. But, these are people that are contributing members of our society. Just because one doesn't sit in a classroom doesn't mean they cannot be productive as citizens of the country. And I think that is very critical. We need to pay attention to that. The one thing that often, us as Africans, the mistake we often make is this. We don't just assume or adapt something or a policy that we see happening beyond the seas. Somehow it's going to work for us as well. I don't think that's always a practical way to look at our society, how we move forward as a nation. And so I do not think that we should dictate or force any parent to send their child to school if, in fact, they have an alternative that they think they want to invest that child's life into. I think it's very critical. Sometimes this provides successions in the family, for instance. If you're a businessman, for instance, you want your kid to end up actually taking over and ensure that continuity that is seen. So these things are critical, and I don't think the state should dictate that from school.
My confusion here is looking at contracts, we talk about entrepreneurship, we talk about employment for young people. Not everybody can sit in a university, or not everybody can sit in an office, but at least when you compare to what is happening in other countries in the sub-region, you need that basic education from let's say, primary school. That should be guaranteed. What the kid does afterwards is something else. But at least that basic education should be assured.
I think, Commissioner Ture, I should make one point clear here. I'm not suggesting that it should be required. I think my initial point was, I think basic through tertiary education should be a right. That's what I stated, which speaks directly to your point, what you're trying to make. My point is though, enforcing, in other words, let's assume my friend Lysisa decides his kid will not go to school because he has a family business. I don't think the state should go after that parent and say, you have to send them to school or otherwise the law holds you accountable. That's my opinion.
So in essence you say it should be free but not compulsory.
Right. I think that burden of proof lies with the parent. That's just my view.
All right, we accept that as your opinion. That's fine. We can move
You have a question?
Yeah. I have a question as an educator. I totally disagree with you, even though we are saying Senators in high school. We all went to primary school. By the way, I'm from Congolese. What's the nation? Born in Kira, but grew up in Farawa. I'm very concerned about the educational level in Gambia. We all know that 95% Gambians either fail English or math. So the longevity of basic education should be changed. Because if someone goes to basic, they spend 6 years. But when they go to upper basic, they spend only 3 years. And the teacher told me it's 2.5. So when they go to high school, they again spend 2.5 years. And rumor has it that this year's examination result is worse than last year's. And we are all here, and we are in a Christian building. And the majority of Gambians are Muslims. This Arabic education is a concern to me. I remember as a child, our grandparents, my grandmother was very big economist. They used to write in Mandeka Fulham. And they would send letters to folks and they would translate into, the people would understand what the folk had written. But again, let's not skip away from what Yahya Jammeh did, and I will call his name, that we have more quality, but quality of education has gone down. If you get a letter from the Gambia, even on Facebook, it surprises you. So in this new constitution, what I'm asking you all to do is, for us to have quality education as we did when we went to school. And I hope that can be a right to every Gambian. I want to say that during that time, no minister dared come to St. Augustine's speaking broken English. We used to say you walk up to Shakespeare. But now it seems like even I met some lawyers in the Gambia and I was shocked with their level of English. English is our official language, and I hope when it comes to education, basic should be And that being which we can go back to primary, whereby we have 6 years of education, longevity. You nurture a child. Then when they go to high school, they can also spend 6 years. Then the teachers are interacting with the student. But when you put a child only to have 2.5 years of education to take the 9th grade examination, I can tell you, 70% of Gambian 9th graders fail. 95% of Gambians who took or are going to be taking English or math fail. I am not trying to advertise, but I'm trying to counter that. All of us here in diaspora, it is our solemn responsibility to get into some form of education system whereby we're going to try to find some ways to increase the quality of education. Otherwise, our country is going to be doomed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Conte. We have 12 more topics to cover, so I'm going to call the second person to speak on this topic, and he's no other person than Famara Damfa, is the Secretary General of the Gambian Association in Minnesota. He's also a PhD candidate.
Suivez Tempo Afrique TV, la télévision des Africains, pour les Africains, par les Africains. Contactez-nous tempoafriquetv.com, iptv.tempoafriquetv.com, téléphone 612 804 0295. Email tempoafriquetv@gmail.com. Tempo Afrique TV, l'éveil de la conscience africaine.